Welcome to We Are the Raiders. Week 16 Aftermath, December 25th, 2023.
All aboard, ye mateys! Come sail away!
The Saints lost to the Rams 22-30. They got off to a slow start. Derek Carr was a little bit off, but the receivers were catching balls that were right in their hands too. It was looking like the Saints of the beginning of the season rather than the end of the season. And the Rams, they were pretty solid. The Bengals lost to the Steelers 11-34. Jake Browning had 335 yards and 1 touchdown, but he also had 3 interceptions and not a very good completion percentage. Mason Rudolph on the Steelers, on the other hand, he had 2 touchdowns with no interceptions and 290 yards. Bills beat the Chargers 24-22. Gabe Davis had 130 yards and only 4 receptions. The Commanders lost to the Jets 28-30 in what turned out to be a fantastic game. The Jets took on a huge early lead and then lost the lead and then took it back again at the very last second. The Lions beat the Vikings to clinch the division 30-24. Justin Jefferson had 6 receptions for 141 yards and 1 touchdown. He went out injured and then came back. Jared Goff was 75% completion. Nick Mullins had 4 interceptions. That was the biggest differences, I would say. The Browns beat the Texans 36-22. Joe Flacco had about 360-some yards. Davis Mills of the Texans didn't even complete half his passes. Amari Cooper was amazing. 11 receptions for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. Can you believe it? Why did we get rid of him? The Packers beat the Panthers 33-30. Jordan Love had 33% less yards than Bryce Young. Otherwise, the stats were pretty close. There were no interceptions or fumbles. Aaron Jones was 21 carries for 127 yards. The Seahawks beat the Titans 20-17. The stats were extremely close. The Seahawks, of course, passed more and the Titans ran more. Derrick Henry actually threw a touchdown, but it came down to the end and the Seahawks won. Colts lost to the Falcons 10-29. Gardner Minshew got sacked 6 times. The Jaguars lost to the Buccaneers 12-30. It was ugly. Trevor Lawrence had a couple interceptions. There were also a couple fumbles. And that's pretty much what did it for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are now at the top of their division. Believe it or not, the Jaguars are too, because the Colts and the Texans lost. The Cowboys lost to the Dolphins 20-22. The Dolphins took an early lead, then the Cowboys came back, and then the Dolphins won at the end with a field goal. Tua Tagovailoa was only sacked once. Dak Prescott sacked 4 times. The Cardinals lost to the Bears 16-27. The Bears showed that their offense is well-rounded to go along with their defense. The Broncos were dominating the Patriots, but they lost 26-23 at the very end. The guy sitting next to me, there's 8 minutes, 33 seconds left. I told him, he says, 16 points, we can't make up this deficit. I said, not only are you going to do that, but you're going to leave him too much clock left. The Raiders beat the Chiefs 20-14. Check out my other video that goes into detail on the game. But the Raiders proved that defense could win games because we had no offense. Daniel Carlson scored 2 field goals, and that was all of our offense. The Giants lost to the Eagles 25-33 in what was a great matchup. Adoree Jackson had a 76-yard interception for a touchdown. The Ravens beat the 49ers 33-19, what started out as a defensive battle. Then Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions, which really cost the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey was 14 carries for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. George Kittle was 7 receptions for 126 yards. Lamar Jackson completed 2/3 of his passes and scored 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson was only sacked twice, whereas Brock Purdy was sacked 4 times. Coming up next, Raiders vs. Colts pregame show. Check out Raiderette Jenna at Raiders.com. And thanks for watching. We are the Raiders. And have a Merry Christmas.